Hey there, it's Aaron, and it is 12:47 night on October 15th, 2014. Should be going to bed, and I will, but I thought I would make a video. I've tried so many times to make this so far, as usual. As you can tell by the title, I'm going to be talking about Frank Zappa. Recently did a marathon of all of his music, and what I mean by marathon is, my definition of marathon in terms of music is taking an artist and listening to everything I own by them in chronological order. So that's why I did Frank Zappa stuff. And why Frank? Because the last time I did so was in 2010, so that's 4 years ago. I mean, that doesn't mean I haven't listened to Frank since 2010. No, I've listened to him on and off since then. I love Frank Zappa. He's probably my favorite solo artist, him and Bob Dylan. But yeah. For this video, I'm going to be talking about all the albums Frank released from 1966 to 1972. So it would be from the beginning till the end of the Flo and Eddie period. So, yeah, just show off everything here. Freak Out would be first, released 1966. This is purchased from iTunes because I got $10 allowance from iTunes for about 9 years from my grandparents. Ever since I got my first iPod for Christmas. Now I'm in charge of the account. But Freak Out I got in 2006, and yeah, it's a great album, great debut. If I had to pick a favorite, Go Cry on Somebody Else's Shoulder and More Trouble Every Day, great songs. And it was a bit risky to be making an album that was also a double album. I mean, it was a debut album and a double album. It's a little bit weird, but then again, Frank Zappa is not a normal person. So, Freak Out's great, great album, love it. Great sound, and very doo-wop inspired. You can hear the R&B influences in there. Yeah, I really like Freak Out. Okay, Absolutely Free, this would be the 2012 reissue. Used to own the 95 record disc, but that was from iTunes as well. Yeah, this is the better sounding version because it's in real stereo, and I did show this in a previous video. Sometimes I prefer Freak Out over, not Freak Out, sometimes I preferred Absolutely Free over Freak Out, because it's just sillier. But after doing the marathon listen, I like Freak Out better, but that doesn't mean I don't like this album. No. This is still probably my top 5 favorite Zappa albums. It is just a really funny album, and I know which order to listen to the songs in. I know tracks 8 and 9, Big Leg and Why Don't You Treat Me Right. Those are bonus tracks. That's really weird that they just throw them in there in the middle of the album. I moved them to the end in iTunes, being the music nerd I am. But yeah, this is a really funny album. Brown Shoes Don't Make It would have to be my favorite song on here. It's just so funny. I mean, today if somebody were to record something like that, it probably wouldn't go over well. I mean, that lyric about the teenage girl and the daughter. I'm sure many of you know what I'm talking about. This is not in the right order. The next one that would come in, the next one would be Lumpy Gravy, and I did not know of this until recently. Yeah, released not 1968, first released in 1967. But yeah, this is Frank's. It's the first album that's in his name alone. So that's one thing. I didn't expect to like this album when I got it, what, 2008 or so? But I really like it. It's about half an hour, and it's just his bandmates just saying a bunch of funny things, and it's interwoven with really great pieces of music. Like you get to hear "Oh No," which is later on "Weasels Rip My Flesh." and it's an orchestrated version, and it just sounds great. And then there's debates about pigs, ponies, and kangaroos, and it's a pretty wild album, so I like it. Okay, now comes We're Only In It For The Money. This is another one from iTunes. I like We're Only In It For The Money. Probably not as crazy about it as most people are. I still prefer Absolutely Free, but it is a great album. I love how Frank just went for every possible group ever. He makes fun of the hippies, he makes fun of the politicians. I don't know about the politicians. I don't know, he made fun of the whole counterculture thing that was going on the West Coast, and he does it to great effect. My favorite song off the album would probably have to be Let's Make the Water Turn Black. And I also like, what's the other one? Who Needs the Peace Corps? That's a good one. Okay, next is Cruising with Ruben and the Jets. I think it was released 1968. This is the 1995 Ryko. Yes, I know that Frank re-recorded the bass and drums on this. The original bass and drums can be found on the disc Greasy Love Songs, which you can only get on the Zappa site, and I'll have to pick that up. I know people absolutely hate the re-recorded bass and drums. I didn't even notice it, but now I listen to it. Yeah, I can tell the difference. But I still think it's good. Yeah, it's a really very doo-wop sounding album. That's the whole purpose of it, because that's what Frank listened to. So you got the picture of him as a teenager. Probably not one of his best, but it's still a good album. That's a big favorite. Later That Night, I like how he takes the songs from Freak Out and he does different renditions of them, like they're slower. So it's good. Okay, so then the Mothers broke up, right? And then Frank released a solo album, Hot Rats. This would be the 2012 remaster. I did show this in another video. The 1995 Ryko, as I'm aware, is the 1987 remix. It's going to take me a while to get used to this. I was just listening to this about 1 or 2 days ago, and again, and yeah, it's really going to take a while for me to get used to the original mix. I mean, some people like the remix, surprisingly, because there's more coming out of the instruments and not so much on here, but I mean, this is what people heard in 1969, and for me, this is my favorite album by Frank. It just showcases everything that he was capable of being a composer and a songwriter, and yet all the songs are instrumental, with the exception of Willie the Pimp, which has Captain Beefheart on vocals. So yeah, definitely great album. Great album. Okay, the next is Burnt Meanie Sandwich. This is the 1985 Ryko that I own. I know some people don't like the 1995 Ryko because of some of the reverb. I've heard the 2012 on and off. I can hear some of the differences, but as an album, Burnt Meanie Sandwich is a really good album. There's some doo-wop inspired tracks like WPLJ and Valerie. I like the Holiday to Berlin tracks. Most of these are just parts of songs and theme from Burnt Weenie Sandwich and Abby C. And I just realized I forgot an album. Hold on. I made a mistake. But yeah, my favorite song on here would have to be, of course, The Little House I Used to Live In. Now, I made a mistake. There is one album missing, and it's not among the other ones in the CD rack because it's a double album. This one would have come after or before Hot Rats. It came out in 1969, and that would be Uncle Meat. This is the 1995 Ryko. I know some people don't like it because it's not the vinyl, but I like it. I know that they put the Uncle Meat movie stuff at the beginning, which I thought, what the heck is it doing on there? I rearranged it again on iTunes to make it follow the original album. But Uncle Meat is a surprisingly long album, but it's filled with really great music. Dog Breath is probably my favorite one on here. Electric Dancer Mima. The Air is really great. Sleeping in the Jar. Cruising for Burgers is good fun, and then King Kong. Yeah, it's a good album. So yeah. Alright, now we go back to 1970, and I wanna Weasels Rip My Flesh. This is a really experimental album, but I really like it. Again, this has a lot of reverb on it. This is the 1985 one. Again, I may or may not repurchase it. It doesn't really bother me, but I really like it. Toads of the Short Forest. My Guitar Wants to Kill Your Mama. Oh No. The Orange County Lumber Truck. There's a lot of great instrumental pieces here. Yeah, it's a good album. Next is Chunga's Revenge. It's the 2012. I do have the 1995 one, but the 1995 one, even I could tell, wow, there's a lot of reverb on there. I thought some of those songs were live. Now, some of them are, but some of them were actually recorded in a studio. That's pretty bad. I don't know what Frank was thinking that he thought the reverb sounded better. This is a pretty special Zappa album for me because it was actually released on my birthday, October 23rd. Chunka's Revenge is a good album. It's more of a straightforward hard rock album. This is the first album with Flo and Eddie on it, I think. You got the Transylvania Boogie, Road Ladies is good fun. Nancy and Mary music is sort of the highlight here. Tell Me Love Me. Charlena's good. Would You Go All the Way? It's a good album. Okay, next is The Mars of Invention, Fillmore East, June 1971. I have the Reiko disc of it. I know that the 2012 one gets rid of the reverb and re-adds Willie the Pimp Part 2. I may repurchase those. It's a good album. Musically, it's a good album. Some people don't like it because there's more of an emphasis put on the comedy more than the music. And I mean, some of the comedies just, that's not really funny. But some of it, I will admit, I do laugh at. I mean, Flo and Eddie can be very funny guys. But, I mean, the groupie routine's pretty funny, but some of it is just, am I supposed to laugh or am I not? I don't know. I mean, Frank could be a funny guy, but when it came to that time period and he was made all the sexual innuendos and jokes, and yeah, it got old pretty fast. But for what it is, it's good. I mean, some of it's really funny. Yeah, it's good. I don't know if I could pick one song on here. Mud Shark's good fun, and they took the Led Zeppelin myth and whatnot. Okay, two more here. One I'm very, very happy to have on CD, and that is 200 Motels, soundtrack to the movie that Frank made in 1971. This is a very, very hard CD to find today. I got this from eBay. I don't know how much I spent for it, probably 25 to 30 bucks. Now I'm seeing it's selling for over 30, 50, sometimes $100. And the Frank Zappa estate cannot re-release this because they do not own it, nor do they own the movie, so MGM is in charge of that. So that's why we don't have the movie released on DVD, although Tony Palmer did try to, and the results weren't that great. The best version of the movie you're probably going to see is ones that are uploaded on YouTube, and whatever's on demand, like Xfinity. The movie's pretty cool. I kind of like it because I have a taste for bizarre. And I like cult classic movies like midnight movies. So that part of me likes 200 Motels just for being so wacky and weird. And the songs in it are pretty good. Again, Flo and Eddie are in the mix. And there's some really good songs in here. My favorite by far is Strictly Genteel. Really great song. One of his best. Frank's best. And then last, just another band from LA. Now that Frank put together, I think after the incident in which he was pushed into the balcony, the orchestra pit, to an orchestra pit at a venue where the Mothers were playing. Somebody just pushed him there, and he had to be in a wheelchair for a while. So he put together 3 albums. 2 of them I'm going to talk about in the next video, but this was the first. It was a live album with Flo and Eddie. The last one with featuring them chronologically, not archival, but this one here, Billy the Mountain's good fun, really funny. And I like some of the versions, or renditions that they do with the songs here, Coney Vegetable and Dog Breath, and yeah, it's good. Not one of my favorites, but it's good. So, yeah, that's everything. Zappa from 66 to 72. This has gone on for almost 20 minutes. I may go ahead and edit it, which I would really hate to do, because it takes some time to do that. But yeah, thanks for watching, and maybe if I get some comments on here, I'll do another video on more Zappa albums. So yeah, thanks for watching.